What was it like coming up in the South during that era? Did you have a sense of the changes that were taking place, and how did they affect your life as a young man in Mississippi?
Well, I had a sense of it, but you know, it's kind of like not seeing the forest for the trees, kind of a syndrome. You know, you're right there in it, and so you don't have a real full appreciation about what's going on until you are able to get out of it in time and environment and then look back upon it, you know. I grew up in a segregated society. I was in the first wave of children that integrated to schools in Mississippi. I didn't go to school with white kids until I was 10th grade. So from 1st through 9th grade, we went to segregated school. I marched as a child to integrate schools. You know? Yeah, see, I remember very vividly the civil rights movement and the freedom riders and all of that came through Mississippi, SNCC and CORE and all these different organizations, and the campaigns for the right to vote and all of that. I mean, I wasn't old enough to vote, but I remember all of that. Yeah. And I have a vivid image in my mind of the big CBS cameras with the big reels on top of the camera, you know, and all of that, you know. But what's interesting about that period is that our parents who lived under those kind of conditions never taught us to hate. And in some remarkable ways, protected us emotionally and physically from the damage that could occur, you know. And so we were taught, you know, to stay in your place. That was for your protection. Don't be on the wrong side of town, and you know this, and don't be anywhere that you're not supposed to be, and get your education. And I think at the time, many of our parents and grandparents were really not that hopeful about integration. I don't think they saw the possibility of it coming in their lifetime, although it did happen. But they were hopeful about somehow about you getting an education and succeeding in life. That was important to them. And it was important that a young child would grow up and cultivate some kind of integrity, you know. And that whole King movement, Martin Luther King, and you know, that was the focus, you know, that you grow up and maintain some kind of integrity about yourself as a black man or black woman. And I think I still carry those values, you know. When, you know, I saw all the marches and demonstrations, and I remember for colored signs and all of that kind of stuff vividly.
And the final question is, at this point in your life, after what you've seen in your lifetime personally and with the world, are you optimistic about the future of mankind? Or do you think we're going to we're on our way to blow ourselves up?
I am optimistic. even though, you know, when you look at it squarely, it seems terribly doubtful that we're going to save ourselves. But I do believe in the basic goodness of man and of mankind. And although we seem to be going through a horrific phase in this historical phase of humanity, I think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think what we're doing as artists and creative people, you know, well, even, you know, what you're doing is being a part of this whole thing. I think all of that is going to have an effect eventually, or now, as subtle as that effect may be, that will help influence the overall good of men. And I'm optimistic. Yes, I am.